everybody and welcome back to Fairy Floss. My name's Faye and this is my FlossTube channel. To those of you who are new, welcome. Please come along, grab a coffee, grab your stitching, come and join me. And for those of you returning, thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming to see what I've been up to. So, first things first, what I forgot to tell you today, I've got a finish, I've got my whips, I've got a few new little treats that I've been buying, and also I thought I would spend some time sharing my stash with you just so you can see what I hoard. So without further ado, let's get started and let's have a look at my finish. Oh, two finishes, well, one stitching finish. My big finish this week was my uni essay that was due in on Thursday, so it's 5,000 words done and dusted, so I was pretty chuffed with that actually. That was quite nice to get that over and done with. But my stitching finish, which is much more interesting to you lovely people, is my lovely Doreen Jones bookmark. She's done. It's not very good light. There we go, it's better light. She is finished. Look at her. She's so sweet. She's so lovely. She's not going to anybody. She's going on my bookshelf. She's probably not even going to get put into my books. I'm just going to keep her in all her glory because she's lovely. I really enjoyed stitching her. The colours just came to life. And if you look at all the little intricate back stitching afterwards, the little lotus flower, it just makes it all just nice. So that's my one and only finish. Whips. Where have I been? This is the secret whip, which I'm not really showing you much of because I don't want my friend to find this channel. But let me fly it past very quickly. And it's like, whee! So it's a special occasion whip. It is, well, I'm hoping now, because we're at a stage of lockdown where it's been relaxed a tiny bit, I am hoping that by the summer holidays I might be able to go and she can have this. So hopefully it won't be too long before I can show you the whole thing. But if I show you from a distance, I've just got the back stitching to do now, and I don't mind back stitching. I know a lot of people moan a bit about back stitching, but I love it because it brings it all to life. However, because I've been doing lots of little motifs on this, I probably should have done the back stitching as I went along rather than saved it for the end, because now you finished all your whole stitches, so you feel like you finished it, but now you've got to go back and do all your back stitching, which is like going around the whole thing once more. So I think that is why I've been avoiding the back stitching, but I probably only got about 9 or 10 motifs to backstitch, so it's really not going to take that long. So I'm hoping if I can stay away from my other stuff, I can get this done in the next few days, get it ironed. I'm not going to wash it because I've used these horrible scratchy metallic threads and they're rough enough as it is, and I'm so worried if I wash it they might all just fall off. And then I need to add my little sequins and all the little embellishments, and then I'm just going to store it away until I'm able to get to a shop that sells frames and then get it all finished and put together. And it would be, well, actually, I do need to get this finished because I am starting something at the end of the week, which I'll tell you about later on. By the way, my next whip is, oh, I love this. One of my most favourite things I've stitched, and it was, I mentioned in the first video, it was a gift from my friend's mum who was doing a Facebook sort of tag thing, and she sent me this kit of London, and what's the best angle, there we go. It is absolutely gorgeous, and because there's only a few colours in it, there's about maybe 12 colours, so it's just gradually building, and it's such a nice one to stitch without the pattern as well. after having to read and read and read while I'm doing the backstage on the wedding one, I can just pick this up. I've actually stood in the kitchen chatting to my boyfriend while he's been cooking and just putting the stitches in because it's just easy to do. There's lots of little bits you can fill in. So all these little white bits here need to be black soon. So it's like, it's just a really nice one that you can do while you're watching TV or when it's a bit later at night, maybe the light's not as good. It's a really nice one just to be doing in the evenings. And because I'm not seeing much of the London skyline at the moment, it's nice to see it come together on here. And I've nearly done my second little London bus now. I was thinking of putting little people in the windows at a 2 metre distancing rule, but actually that's not happening. The bus is down here, so there's absolutely no point. But yeah, oh, I love it. It's going to be finished quite soon, to be fair. It's nearly there. I really, really um, my 2 whips because I've also got a new start. You might, if you've seen the last video, I asked for your opinions of what I should stitch for my mum for her birthday. That's next month in June, and I showed another Doreen Jones bookmark of a mermaid, and this is also a Doreen Jones swan. And yeah, the swan was the winner because I realised that if I stitched the bookmark and liked it a bit too much, she probably wouldn't get it, and then I'd have to stitch something else anyway. So, not that I'm selfish in any shape or form, but there we go. There we go. So I made a little start on this. It's a bit more county than the other ones, but I like that. And random threads. I'm not sure what's going on here. So I've started the swan's little wing, and that's nice now because I just got to fill out this bit in with white, and then I can move on to the swan's head and body. And if I show you the finished chart, sure. There we go. Then that's what she will look like. She's so pretty. And again, another Doreen Jones. And you, this is only my second one that I've done, but I'm starting to get an idea of her colour schemes and how she creates things. And I really like the colours that she chooses. The little rose is in like 3 different shades of pink and purple, and it just comes together so nicely. So that's my new start, my little swan card. So I'll be working on her this week because that needs to be done to get up to my mother's at some point in the near future. And that's all my new starts. Purchases. So it's not pay. It's payday next week now, so it's like the end of the month. So I've only treated myself to a couple of things. But the first thing is more of an investment than a treat. I managed to get myself a frame. These are really quite hard to get hold of, it seems, at the moment. I was aiming for a Q-snap, but everywhere I tried, they'd sold out. They just didn't have any in. So this is one of the R&R universal craft frames, and I hear that they're not as good, but for the sake of having something nice and big for when I put my caravan chart in there, which you may have seen in the last video. If not, check it out. It's going to be fine. I'll just add a bit of extra fabric, and then eventually, when other things are available and the shops are open, I might be able to get a Q-snap. What else? So I'm pretty pleased with this. You might wonder why. It is a music chart book, and funnily enough, when I used to visit Clark Crafts in Ramsbottom, where I used to live up north years and years ago, I used to see this book in there, and I used to really want it because I used to do a lot of music as a young person, and I was desperate to get it, but it was quite expensive. I remember it being about £13 or something, which was money I didn't really have to spend on one of these things when I was a teenager. So somebody had put it up on the Facebook stash site that they were getting rid of for about I think I paid fiver for it. I think I paid £5 for it. So I was quite happy to have got hold of it. A, because I wanted it when I was a lot younger, but B, I've still got a lot of friends that play instruments as well. So there's some really nice chart. Look at, let's see if you can see it. That little heart note rainbow. I really love that. I feel like I should be able to make that for somebody. And the little mouse and the drum as well. And the little I was thinking about barbershop quartet. It's like a trio, but they're so cute. There's lots of really nice things in there, which I'm pretty sure I will be making. Um, and so a couple of other charts that I've picked up. So when I went into school last week, I was chatting to my head teacher. She said, "Oh, what are you doing during the lockdown to keep yourself busy?" I said, "Oh, right, well, I've got back into my cross stitching. It's something that I used to do a lot of, but now it's something a bit more sporadic because I just don't have the time. But I found that time again, and I seem to have got really back into it. I've been doing quite a lot." And she was like, so I showed her all my pictures of my lockdown finishes, and she's like, "Oh, they're great, but what you should do, because you've got the time, is upskill and do something that you've never done before. Like, still in the stitching category, but something that's going to challenge you." So I thought about that, and she's my head teacher, said, "Better do it." And I decided, after watching quite a few videos, I am going to have a go at doing some hard anger and some cutting. And so, it's about a lot of pages this. I bought the chart for the Doreen Jones. Please, somebody tell me if I'm saying this lady's name right, because I adore her stuff and I just don't want to be upsetting her. The hard anger bird ornament. So payday on Tuesday, so I'm going to order all my even weave and order all my bits and pieces, and then I'm going to hopefully start putting this together. And you know I love their charts. I'm a bit of a sucker. And the other thing I decided to challenge myself to. So I've got two pretty big goals this year to start, but I can't start them straight away because I need to get hold of frames and things. That and I need to save up for things, and obviously the threads and everything are quite expensive. So this will not be started straight away. But I was looking at other people's flash tubes. I know a lot of people do the Mirabilia ladies, and I was looking at them and thinking, would I do a Mirabilia? They are massive. Would I have place for one of these in our house? I mean, if look behind me. So my partner's been furloughed, my boyfriend's been furloughed at the moment, and so he's decided he's going to paint every cathedral in the UK, which is why right now all our walls are adorned with the cathedrals of the UK. So we've got a lot of architectural paintings in the house and pictures in the house. So I was thinking, where would the fairy go? And then I went on the website anyway, and I thought they're really nice, but I'm not quite sure. And then I saw this one, and oh, she's stuck. That's little fairy. There we go. And I saw this one, and instantly the colours were just like, oh, the colours are so nice. And I kind of also thought that she was a bit like the colours from my bookmark as well. I thought she's actually really quite nice. And funnily enough, when I looked at her name and what she was called, she's the October Opal Fairy. And my birthday is October, and my birthstone is opal. And for some reason, it's hard to get hold when you like buy Pandora bracelets and things like that in this country. It's hard to get opal as the gemstone. They always change it to something like an amethyst, or it's probably something that's a bit cheaper to make and put out there. But I love the opal, and I really like it when you can actually find opal as your birthstone, because it's such a precious and really pretty stone as well. So I bought the chart. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get the chart because then I'm going to have to make her. And she's going to be absolutely lovely when she's finished. Well, if I do it right, anyway. But I thought, what a nice challenge. That is something that I can buy my stand for, get her up on a nice frame, and do all the beadwork. And the beadwork looks really nice. I've looked at the oh, I can't get it back together. I'll do that later. Um, I've looked at all the beadwork and all the different materials that you need, and that shouldn't be too hard to get hold of, hopefully. And so I'm hoping to start her towards the end of the summer, probably, when I've got my big frame and everything. So she's not going to be an instant. So don't come on next week going, where's your Mirabilia? Why hasn't she started yet? It's going to take a while because, money doesn't grow on these trees outside my flat, but she will be getting made. And I'm really looking forward to having something a bit bigger, a bit more challenging to start as well. So that is all my little purchases this week. And let's get into my stash, I suppose. Let's have a look at what I've been saving throughout the years. So, um, potted history. I've lived in this flat now for 3 years. Before that, I was living in different places on the other side of London, near Heathrow Airport. So I was upping and moving quite a lot. This is the first time I felt settled in quite a while. And then before that, I was moving a lot. So actually, a lot of my stitching stuff is still at my parents' house because I was up in Manchester a few years. Well, I've been down in London 8 years, so before that I was up in Manchester. So a lot of my stuff is still up there. So there might be a stash part 2 video at some point when we're allowed to travel back up the country again. But this is all the stuff I've got in my London flat right now. So, firstly, these are my kits, should I say. So I know it's weird, I've been looking at some Facebook groups and some of the Instagrams, and people refer to people as, oh, she's a kit girl, and oh no, it's a kit, but I'll buy it anyway. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with buying a kit? What is wrong with having it all there and ready for you? Is it like, is there a hierarchy of cross stitchers that think it's a bit better that they've bought a Mirabilia and then had to buy all the separate things? I don't know. I just found it quite funny that somebody was referred to as a kit girl. So, kit girl, here I am with all my kits to show you. So, firstly, I've got a lot of little kits. Because I haven't done a lot of stitching over the last few years, I'm a bit, whenever I go to Hobbycraft or shops like that, I will buy what I need, buy a few bits, but then I seem to always toss in a few mouse loft kits at the end as well. So I've got a fair few minis. Got a little doggy. I don't know anybody with a Schnauzer, but when I do, I'll make it for him. Little Miss Sunshine, that's obviously for me. No. And then I got a few more actually, but they're in a different drawer. I bought some Easter kits a couple of years ago with the intention of having the fat quarters as well, some Eastery fat quarters, with the intention of making them into Easter bunting, so that every year around Easter time I can have bunting up. So that's not happened yet, but I'm hoping now I'm a bit more motivated. That might be something I will put together. I've also, oh look, got a little kitty cat one as well. There's always plenty of kitty cat ones in this house because we do have a kitty cat, and I know lots of people that do have cats as well. I've got a right old pile of pile of Christmas ones as well. I've got the robin. I've got robin on a postbox. I feel like I've made that one before actually. I think I've probably done these a few times. Another robin. A polar bear which I appear to have started, but don't recall ever stitching that at all. And a little fox. And this is just a few. I've actually got some more. in a big box down here, but I don't want to get them all out, to be honest. I'm just going to toss those out of the way. And that's, oh, and I've got some mini kits. I've got a whole stack of mini kits in here, which were all freebies from magazines. That's where my bookmark was. I've got little Margaret Sherry cards. And actually, I love having the little kits, because if I'm going to go away somewhere, not in the near future, but if I'm going to go away somewhere, I always put a couple in, so I've got something to stitch and do when I'm there. And what I also like putting my little kits in, I'll show you, this top tip of the day, is I won't show you too close up because it's got the chart on it. I'll hide the chart. There you go, you can't stitch that now. Is I put them in these little plastic wallets because it keeps everything in, and then I can just have the chart see-through through the back, so I don't have to get everything out, because I might have mentioned 20 times already in this video, I do have a cat, and you know, he might go trotting off with my threads and whatnot, so it's good to have it in a little kit like that, because then everything's kept together. So what else have I got in my stash? I have this little kit of Lower Slaughter. A friend of mine got married in Lower Slaughter. I thought I would stitch this for the friend, and I just never got around to it. So, not quite sure why I will stitch this one yet if I do again. If not, I might put it on a giveaway. I'm gonna hang on for a bit longer, because I do like little stitches like this, and the colours all blend really nicely. But I'll just have to fathom out if I'm actually gonna give it to anybody as a gift. The next one. This was for a friend who was getting married. Good old Bofi threads. But if you look really at how intricate that is, and how jumpy and how confetti-ish it is, I didn't get very far on it. Would you like to see how far I got? Oh, looks like there's a bit of a rusty needle going on there. That's how far I got on that one. So I don't know if I could give it away because I've already started it. Or whether I should hang on to it because I might stitch it for someone else. I shall delete it because it is so nice, and it'll be really nice when it's done as well. But the doing of it is going to be quite an effort. So we shall see. My next one. So, in my little pack, I love this folder. Look, it was from Wilko's a few years ago. So, my friend had a baby, so I thought, oh, I'll stitch something for said baby. I love Noah's Ark kind of things because I always think that they last a while, and you know, you can do counting with it, you can do any. Sorry, that's my phone with the latest news update. So I got that for my friend and for her little daughter that she has. That's how far I got. And her daughter is now 7 years old, so she's not getting it. So it's here. It's been started. I think I'm actually going to finish this one. It is a really nice design, and there's always going to be babies, isn't there? So next time somebody has a baba, then I will be putting that together. And it started. So this next one I found in my stash is really weird because I remember starting this. It's a bit shiny. I'm gonna take it out. Oh dear. I'll take it out. I remember starting this because it's actually really beautiful. It's called Castle Bridge, and it's a Teresa Vensler, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know where I bought it from. It was a long, long time ago. But I've sorted out all my threads. Everything's sorted onto these little revision cards. So I must have started it during my A levels, which was a while back. But I can't actually find the material that I was stitching it on and what I'd started. Now I'm pretty sure I hadn't started much. I'm pretty sure there was just a little bit of window and castle. But it seems such a shame um, that I can't find it. So I am going to hang on and see if I can dig it out of some of the boxes in my parents' shed. But if not, I think I am going to give it a go. I need to check the threads and see if they're not just specialist threads for this one or if I can like DMC it. But it'd be really nice to actually stitch it. So that's another one that might come out when I've solved the mystery of where it ended up, if I can solve that mystery. This little cutie pie, he's nice. I like him a lot. I stitched another one of these little duckies years and years ago, probably when I was a teenager, and I actually like him, and I think I'm going to stitch him for my godson, because I think he's quite timeless. If you put this up in someone's nursery, it can still stay up when they grow up a little bit as well, because it is just a cute little duck. So, because my godson's 18 months, just over, and I think it'd be really nice for his second birthday, because it'll stay in his room for quite some time, and he's really cute. I like this duck. He's naughty, look at him, he's great. Again, see how I like a bargain? That was £1.95 instead of £6.49 apparently. This is a little sun bunny to love. Now, I don't think I'm going to stitch her. Just because I don't know who I'll give her to. So I've got a friend who I think might like these, so I'm gonna ask around if anybody wants them, and if not, I might do a giveaway on this little one and another video. Because I don't think I'll stitch her. She's very sweet, but I've got enough other things to do, and I'm not quite sure who I'd give her to either. So. I've got no idea where this came from. I think like my nana or my mum or something must have bought it, because again it had a reduced sticker on it, and that's what they do. It was only £4.99. It should have been £15. And this has followed me round for years and years and years and years, and I have not started it. No, I haven't started it. But for some reason, I haven't departed with it either. It's still in my cupboard, and it's followed me from home to home to home, and I'm not sure if it would look right in my kitchen, but something makes me want to stitch it anyway. So I actually think I'm going to hang on to this one, and I think it's because I like the house. I just like those little windows in it. I like the colours of the grapes. I'm not a massive. I don't drink champagne unless it's given to me for free at a wedding. So, but maybe, maybe I should get a bottle of champagne and start stitching it while I'm drinking it, or go on holiday to the Champagne region of France and stitch it there. I don't know. I will. I think I will stitch it though, and then decide what to do with it. Because I don't know, there's something that makes me want to do it. So, what can you do? My final two, these are quite heavy. My final two are two more Bofi thread kits, and as you may know, I am a librarian. I love books. I read a lot. And Bofi Threads have got this series of books or book charts. And so this one is the Bronte one. I'm not going to pull this out because I've never took it out before. So you'll have to excuse the glare. This is the Charlotte Bronte one. Fun fact, I read all the Charlotte Bronte books last year. My favourite is Agnes Grey. I really enjoyed I Am T-Man. I do like Anne Bronte's books, and I really do want to stitch this. And so I've got the Bronte one, and I've also got the Charles Dickens one as well. Oh gosh, you can't see that. I'll do a bit of a. So what is it? It's got Oliver, it's got Pickwick Papers, Great Expectations, Little Dorrit, David Copperfield, a couple of others I can't read backwards. And now my thoughts for this one is maybe to do a stitch along, and I might in January. I'm thinking if anybody else wants to get hold of this kit as well. From January on, see, I'm not going to do it with the Bronte because I've read them all. But if anybody fancies doing a Charles Dickens stitch along, where we start in the middle and we stitch for one of the books and we read the book, or you could do an audio book, or you could watch one of the movie adaptations, because I don't think we've all got the time to be reading Charles Dickens and stitching. Read the book, do the stitch, and then discuss the book and share our stitching. Yeah, if anybody fancies that. It's not going to start for, I might have to say January because I've got so much on. I don't know. Bear with, there may be a public launch, who knows. But I think it might be really good fun to that was my intention when I bought it, was to read the book as I stitched along. So I've got these two. There is also a Shakespeare and a Jane Austen one as well, and it'd be really nice to have all four of them hanging up in my library next to my bookshelves, should I say. So that is everything I've got. That is my stash, and that's my kit girl. Unintentional, but I stitch what I like, what I see and what I like, I will get hold of, and I will do it. And it's quite exciting that I've decided I'm going to commit to something like the Mirabilia, because it's so much bigger and it's going to be a different challenge for me. But at the same time, I still need other things to be getting onto. To be honest, I know a lot of people do Heaven and Earth and the full coverage. I'm not quite sparked by that yet. That's not. Yeah, I've seen some really nice designs, but I'm not quite sparked with it yet. It's not. Maybe it'll hit me like the Mirabilia did, but it's not just yet. But I do adore other people's work. I love watching other people do them, but I've not quite found that urge to get one done myself. I have got another plan up my sleeve. If I'm ordering it this week, so hopefully it will be here by my next video. I'm going to try and put my videos up on Sunday nights for the time being, so I've got the weekend to edit and make, etc. And when I do go back to work fully, then that might be the only time I get to stitch, who knows. But until then, I'm going to keep that secret under wraps. But I really hope you enjoyed watching my video today. If you've made it to the end of the video, then thank you very much for enjoying looking at what I've got. Please like it. Please subscribe. Click the little bell so you get my notifications every Sunday evening to let you know that I'm here again to share more things with you. And I think that's all I've got to share today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and see you next week. Goodbye.